Hello, this video is on adoption, and I'm going to be speaking to you about adoption. I hope that my experience with adoption gives me the ability to speak on the topic in a persuasive manner, as the fact that I've gone through an adoption with my own family and completing our family and having our son Spencer sealed to us in the Salt Lake Temple. It was a great experience, and I would highly recommend and urge you to consider adoption, and I hope that by urging you, that might be a little spark in your mind might be started to decide that you want to adopt or that you would like to go through this process, and it might not seem so scary to you. All of the myths about adoption and different things that you might be thinking about the biology versus the parents and the birth mom and whether they should be allowed to be involved or not. I hope I could shed some light on that with my own experience. We started our adoption process and was able to go through that process, and they have a 6-month time period that you wait. There are so many children. According to the statistics of the Idaho alone, there are about 3,024 reported cases of child abuse alone in the state on a yearly basis. And there are so many children out there that are in need of adoption and that are needed to be put in homes. Our son was in a situation where the parents didn't know if they wanted to be together, and as we went through the adoption process, we had found out that we had been chosen. What you do is you fill out a profile and you put it in a book, and you go to LDS Family Services and meet with a counselor, and at that point you put all of that information together into a folder that they have. They have all of the birth families that are prospective, that are looking for children, or the future parents that are looking for children, and then they have on the other side they have the birth moms that the situation negates that they go through an adoption process, that they've decided that they want to place their child in a home. And it's kind of a fun and exciting and a little bit scary time, because nothing's final until it's finalized in the temple. Nothing is final. The adoption laws in the state of Utah were such that once the birth dad has given his basic, biological rights to the child have been abrupt once he has that girl become pregnant, and once they become and find out that they are pregnant, that birth dad's rights are no longer at that point. They do put out a search in the local newspapers to try to find him, and if there's no response at that point and the girl signs those rights of his away, then at that point she is the one that has the rights to that child. And then at the point of the adoption, she puts herself in the situation where she is able to adopt. And this is going to be a 2-part series in this adoption paper. The first period is going to be persuasive from the standpoint of this is what happens while you go through it. There are financial things that you can fill out. Adoption can be very expensive. I'm not going to be joking with you. It can be very expensive. But one thing you need to keep in mind is that if your insurance has a clause in it that is called an amenity credit, you can actually qualify for up to $5,000 grant. Now, you might have to come up with the money first. Maybe your parents will, if they really want grandkids, maybe they'll give you a loan, and that they'll get it back, a low-interest loan, or maybe you can get funding or try to do a fundraiser of some kind, maybe for your own self, and tell your friends and neighbors you're trying to adopt. There's lots of different ways to do it. I had put together a music CD and tried to sell it to some of my friends and neighbors about adoption, and at work, at different places, and it was very helpful in helping us to adopt. In this 2-part series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to our son and show you a little bit of his insanity and his funness and the excitement that he brings in, and maybe giving you an example to see what kind of happiness and joy you can get and what kind of fun children are available, and then also to see and to show you that there is hope. And going to conclude on the 3rd part of this video with a video that I've done from my own life that I produced and put the music to and wrote the original music for. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to feel the spirit of adoption I know that song that Michael McLean wrote about adoption, From God's Arms to My Arms to Yours, is very touching to me. It's kind of funny, though. Sometimes you're out there and you're teaching your kid to ride a bike and they fall down and you're not holding them close. You're going, what the heck are you doing? You're not learning to ride a bike. But, it goes through the growing pains of knowing that they're adopted, and you just have to be more patient and more understanding and know that they've got struggles, and not be so hard on them, and not be but be hard on them when you need to, and love them when you need to, and the Spirit will tell you what to do. And so this is going to be a 3-part series, and I hope that you enjoy watching each of the 3 parts of the video. Again, I apologize for the audio in the first one. I didn't have access to the technology that I was using at the time, and I tried some new technology and it didn't work, but I decided to go back to the old technology. So this is better, and enjoy the 3-part series.